Hello, this is Jouni Juurela from Floorball Made Simple, and this time we will have a small quiz for you all subscribers and viewers. So we will dive into the biggest myths in floorball that I have heard throughout my career, people talking about in those training and game halls. So let's dive into the biggest myths. And first up, we will start with a little warm up because all the players need to do a little warming up before training or games, so we will warm up our brains as well. There is two statements in this slide. And the left one says that coach should always tell the players what to precisely look in certain situations, or what is the key info, provide the ready key info for the players in every situation. And in the right hand side, we have a statement that says that the coach should point out where to look at, where to find the right information, and give them tips and suggestions to where to look at and find the proper information by themselves. So, which one is true? And my take on this subject is that it is better to show where to look at. So this implies that the coach should be able to point where to look in the field, so the players will have their intentions towards the right subject, but they need to figure out by themselves that what is the right key information on this matter. So we should not totally give all the information totally ready to the players. Let them figure out by themselves some infos. And now in these rest of the statements, there are three options. It is true, inconclusive, or false. And the first statement is that leading by 2 goals is a horrible situation. Some coaches and players seem to say that the 2 goal leading moment is the worst one to have in the field. They rationalize it by saying that the team might start to feel too comfortable and feeling too good while leading by 2 goals. They're afraid that the lead will disappear and that will gain lots of momentum to the opposition, and then the losing the lead might be a tough situation to handle mentally, which is true. But is this true, false, or inconclusive? My take on this matter is that it is false, because leading by 2 goals is still a lead. It is better than to be down by 5 goals, right? Although the 2 goal lead is the fastest one to disappear in an instant if the team leading stops hammering down and working hard and still keeping or attempting to increase the gap between the teams. Handling the losing situations is way often harder than handling those winning situations. So that one is false. This might be a little hot take or a hot subject to handle, but the statement, every attack needs to end in a shot. So some people coming especially from a hockey or field hockey background tend to say that every single attack, no matter is it a faster attack or a slower one, needs to end up to scoring or shooting. Of course, everybody wants to score every time, right? But every attack would have to end in shooting. And this idea will force eventually the players to shoot in the end of an attack, no matter what the positioning of the players by themselves or the teammates is. And this will end up the game to be very flowing and open from inside to inside throughout the pitch. So is this true, inconclusive, or false? And that is categorically false to me. Because in floorball, there is no need to shoot from every attack, because some attacking moments require for the ball to be circulated from round to round to create a even better scoring chance. The intention should be to create as great of a chance as possible with a great probability of scoring from that. And it is important to look for the best possible scoring moment, and sometimes it requires more time, so there is no need to shoot from every single attack, and some attacks are slower paced, so why in the name of heck would you want to shoot from every moment? And now let me briefly remind you of the subscriber campaign. Get 5 subscribers to the Florball Made Simple YouTube channel and you will get a free remote or distance meeting on your own improvement as a coach or a player with me. In the meeting we talk about your current strengths and points to improve as a player or a coach. Then we'll decide the next steps of learning for you as an individual, and your improvement will skyrocket and you will become a better player or a coach faster. Contact me once you have gotten those subscribers. Contact me in my socials, Florbal Made Simple, Instagram or Facebook, Jouni Juurela, and then we'll agree to the meeting. The next statement. The mid-high forecheck is always a horrible option. Mid-high forecheck means that it is not a totally low, super low block where you are waiting for the opponent, and it is not a super aggressive one where you go at the end board to get the ball. It is something in the middle, and some coaches don't see any middle ground between super low blocks and all-in high forechecks. So they are terrified of the large spaces that will appear around the lowest players in the forecheck. And the rationalization behind this is that it will create too big of spaces and it will eventually shatter your forecheck all over the place, and the team trying to break the press will have easy time on breaking it. So is this true, inconclusive or false? It is false, I say, and I give 88.8% of probability of it being false. That is just a made up number, don't use it anywhere. But because at most cases it is beneficial to be active in the forecheck and sometimes find the right triggers and moments where to push the forecheck a little higher and force the opposition into hard situations. Although if it is not well organized, it will end up in the exact moment that the coaches seem to be afraid of, that your forecheck will be shattered and all over the place and easy to break. So you need to be very good on recognizing those individual moments from which to start pressing a little higher. Oh, this is a traditional one. Statement: offense is the best defense. Some say that the best way to avoid of conceding goals is to keep the ball with their own team. This is a tool to keep the best goal-scoring threats of the opposition off the ball, which is quite logical. You know, if the best players are not in the ball in the opposing team, how would they score? If the team only keeps the ball to themselves with no intention to score, it might be hard to sell to the players, plus it might be pretty effing boring to the spectators and they might be bringing their sleeping bags with them to the games. But true, inconclusive or false? I think that it is totally true. Because, like I said, it is quite hard to score, no matter how big of a laser your shot is, if you don't have the ball. Especially, this is a good tool to close down any momentum that the opposition might have. If they have scored in the previous shift, then hold the ball and defend with the ball, and that will get the steam off the team that is trying to gain momentum. But although yet it is even better if you are able to increase your lead while holding the ball. The next statement: offensive game should always leave space for individual creativity in the game. Some people say that the team play should leave lots of room for individual freedom for the players to express themselves. But the coaches that have written their playbooks in the 1880s or hundreds of years ago think exactly opposite. Every single play should be a set play and scripted and predetermined to the last bit. So is this true, false, or inconclusive? It's totally true to me. The team play structure should always leave freedom to decide their own solutions for the players. The principles of the team play should be rigid enough to push the team play into the desired directions and the action we want to see, but in the end, success in games and situations always come down to the level of individual choices made on the field. The last minute hiding in your own end is horrible. This means that in the top leagues, many good teams tend to do this sort of action that when the last minute hits of each period, they tend to stay in their own end, in their own defensive zone and circulate the ball around that they're not even attempting to go to the opposition's end. But rather in the last 10 seconds, then they throw a longer ball or try to progress to the offensive zone and create one good scoring chance. So what they're aiming for is the opposition not to get any scoring chances in the last minutes, even especially in the moments when they are leading the game. They are trying to prevent any possible conceding moments of goals. So is this true, false, or inconclusive? This is absolutely false to me, because if you are leading the game, you want to keep the lead at the same level as when the buzzer hits and when the period ends. You do not want to lose any momentum and your lead. You want to start the next period at the same leading moment, or even better, leading by even one more goal that comes from the last minute or the last 10-second scoring attempt. You want to avoid all the momentum that the losing side might get by scoring, because they gain lots of momentum if they score in the last minute. And the leading disappearing in the last minute will decrease your own momentum and that good feeling from the game if you concede in the last minute. So it is just plain stupid to play regularly a flowing game in the last minute if you want to win games. The next statement: you should always avoid all risks when you are playing the ball between the blue lines, which means that in the middle zone offense, some coaches tend to repeat that take no risks at all when your team is holding the ball in the middle zone offense of the pitch. They are worried that potential turnovers and negative transitions will end up coming to your end after the players are losing the ball. And it is not totally unreasonable thought, because as the best probability counterattacks are launched from the errors in the middle zone, and that is the easiest way of scoring goals in floorball. But is that statement that you should always play riskless game between the blue lines, is it true, inconclusive, or false? This one is false as well. Even though the team needs to be smart and mature enough in their decisions in the middle zone offense in order to avoid those bad turnovers. But if you never attempt to do anything that is progressive and leads to scoring in the middle zone, you leave a huge chunk of potential scoring chances on the table. So you will not utilize that potential. The game will always end up in the corners, and it is a tough time to score from the corner. And if you have good ball handling players and skillful players playing in the lowest positions, you will leave lots of their individual potential unused as well. Some players and coaches are telling themselves, even though they have just scored a remarkable goal, that okay guys, the game is still 0-0, let's keep up the good work. So the idea that you're imagining that no matter what the scoreboard says, the game is even, it is 0-0. That is the statement. And they attempt with that thought to keep on working and keep on increasing the lead, but the idea and thought in their mind is that the game is still 0-0. So is this a statement that after every goal you need to think that the game is 0-0, is it true, false, or inconclusive? In my opinion, that is categorically false as well, because you need to be able to handle all the pressuring moments in the field, even if you are leading. You just need to recognize and be aware of the situation in the scoreboard that you are leading, but still you need to be able to surpass that thought and keep on the good work. In my eyes, that is the only way how you create winners, because you will keep on the good work and keep on increasing the lead, and you need to be fully aware of the situation in the scoreboard, because that affects on the way you need to play in the field. But whatever fits for you and is good for your team and yourself, go ahead if you can still keep on working. And this is the last statement of this video, and it says that the closed drills should be avoided at all cost. So this means the skills drills and whatever drills where there are fixed directions where you should pass the ball, move the ball, or shoot from, that those are totally predetermined. And some coaches say that only those Pep Guardiola style rondos and small-sided games should be used, and drills should be never used. So is this statement true, false, or inconclusive? This one is inconclusive to me, because they both work just fine when done well and planned well in advance. You need everything with the right portion that fits the background of your team, the culture in your team, your area, and what improves your game, well, then use it. Drills are great on demonstrating the principles that we are trying to achieve as a team, so it is a good way to get the players to think about the things we want. Although small-sided games and etc., that kind of rondos are excellent on modeling the exact moments in the game, if you are using those drills, leave some open spots in there, that every decision is not predetermined, but some may be. So everything with the right portion is the right answer to me in that matter. So that was the end of our quiz, and would you look at that, under 20 minutes. Wow, that's quite an achievement for my videos. But hey, I want to hear out what you thought of this precise video, because I'm planning to make plenty of these myths or myth busting. So please comment down below what you thought of this video and the idea of this sort of myth busting in Floorball. And thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, issues, or so on in Floorball, please don't hesitate to contact me, Floorball Made Simple, Instagram and Facebook. Thank you for watching. Bye.